Oh, certainly. Hello, this is Dr. McKinney. I'm Dr. Mike McKinney, Promise Christian University. We're so glad to be with you again on the program today. And we have some interesting guests. Both my wife, Adelle, is one of the guests, and our producer, Dudley Goff, is also a guest sitting next to Adelle. And we're delighted to have both of you on the show today.
Yes.
And we're going to talk a little bit about Promise Christian University, and then in a little while we're going to also talk about Gleanings for the Hungry and Israel Food Outreach, which is your ministry, Dudley. Mm-hmm. So today I'd like you to share your thoughts about Promise Christian University, our recent graduation back in August, and some of your feelings about it.
Well, I just wanted to share with everyone who watches our telecast that we had one of the best graduations we ever had. It was our 10th anniversary, our largest class, graduating class, and very distinguished graduates from all around the world. So, and Dudley was our producer. He filmed the entire event. So we have like almost 2 hours of filming on the graduation, but I just want to share a little bit from the graduation, like one of our speakers and some of our guests. We have our distinguished graduate for this year was Belen Mananes-Yu, and Belen is an adjunct professor with us, and I thought she gave such an outstanding speech that we would like to share it with those who watch Promise Christian Live. So I don't know if Lily has it set up yet, but if she does, we'd like to introduce to you Belen Mananes-Yu at graduation.
Good morning. President McKinney, members of the Board of Trustees, regents, faculty, distinguished guests, fellow graduates, friends, and family. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." This verse is carved deep into my heart. Every time I encounter a roadblock towards the fulfillment of God's destiny for me, I revisit my vision, and I know that I can overcome. Every task that is connected to our calling and destiny is absolutely attainable. He is taking us to the uncharted territories of the divine plan, of His divine plan. Nobody can stop God's plan. This has been a long and tumultuous but inspiring educational journey. Promise Christian University has given me the backbone to pursue the highest training possible to help impact 21st century educators and students as a whole. The unwavering encouragement from the staff has greatly influenced my stance on the transforming church culture. I have asked the Lord, what is next? I know that Promise Christian University will continue to produce men and women of faith who spark a change in our society. The world is in desperate need of a spiritual awakening. The clock is ticking, and the sound of the alarm is deafening, calling everyone who is ready to be a part of this end-time move of God. There is no more time to play around. Our homes are being invaded by secular humanism because of the media, entertainment industry, and other institutions. You may be wondering what secular humanism is. According to Webster's dictionary, it is a conviction to commit to the use of ethical reason, factual evidence, and scientific methods of inquiry rather than faith in seeking solutions to human problems and answers to important human questions. It is a belief that human beings are capable of being ethical and moral without religion or God. So millions are dying daily without Christ in their life. So who will take the lead if we teachers, preachers, even Christians don't act or do something? I'm reminded of something that Edmund Burke, an 18th century British politician, once said. All that is necessary for the forces of evil to prevail is that enough good men to do nothing. It's my firm conviction that the ripple impact of even one anointed teacher or preacher can have a profound effect on the lives of students. My prayer is for the Lord to rekindle in us new zeal, new revelation, new passion, and a renewed commitment to unleash every opportunity of a spiritual revival. Let's spearhead the intercession march to annihilate the strongholds of the enemy and possess the gates of our towns, our cities, our states, and our country for the Lord Jesus Christ. Let us turn the world upside down for Jesus. Amen. May the Lord's abundant blessings and wisdom be upon the 2012 graduates of Promise Christian University. Thank you.
Wow, tremendous. You see what I said about world leaders here today?
Well, we're certainly glad to have Dr. Belen Mananes-Yu as our distinguished graduate for 2012. And I thought, didn't you think she did a great job?
Tremendous.
And you were sharing a little bit of her family in the Philippines?
Oh, yes. Her father was the not only the minor union president, but labor union president of the nation when she was a little girl growing up. And there's a humorous story she told me. She says, you know, Dr. Mike, when I was a little girl, all these important people would be coming to our house to see my daddy, movie actors and politicians and everybody. He says, I had no idea why until she found out later who her father was, you know. But they've been a very active part of ministry with our ministry, which is World for Jesus International, and are pastors now of our church. And she and Renee, her husband, have just done a phenomenal job. He's quite a guy, too. You know, yes. Renee was the youngest movie producer in the Philippines at one time, and he has a degree. He has 3 engineering degrees in 3 different disciplines. Can you believe that? Oh. Mechanical, electrical, and civil. This guy's really something else. So what did you think about the graduation this year?
I thought it was excellent, and I think that next year is going to be even greater.
Wow.
But we were very happy because we had spiritual leaders from different nations graduating this year. Very honored to have different ones. But we're going to change the topic a little bit.
Sure.
Because we wanted to share about Dudley and Raven's ministry. Did you know that, I didn't know this, Dudley, but he has artifacts from ancient Israel.
That's right.
That he gave one of his artifacts to Gleanings for the Hungry up in Fresno, but maybe you could share what's going on with Israel Food Outreach.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of exciting things are happening.
I'll be glad to.
Sure.
You bet. Right now, there are 3 containers on the water.
Wow. 3.
Praise the
2
Lord.
containers of dried peaches and nectarines. This all coming from Gleanings for the Hungry, which is headquartered near Fresno. And they collect the surplus of these peaches, and they dry them out in the sun, and then they're put into buckets dried, and they go all over the world.
Wow.
But since 2010, they've been also supplying through Israel Food Outreach these kinds of things to Israel, including, and the primary thing is the soup mix, the dried soup mix, because it lasts a long time. There are about 1 million bowls of soup
in
on
one
each
container.
Oh, my.
That's less than 2.5 cents a bowl. The food is free, actually.
Yes.
But it costs to get on the water, and then it costs to go through the port. in Israel. So about $12,000 for each
yes.
container. So we have 3 on the water right now.
Wow. And these are huge cargo
Oh, they're 40
ships.
foot long, you know. I mean, they're
Wow.
42,000 pounds in each of these containers.
My goodness.
So it's a tremendous way to bless Israel. So, you know, we can bless Israel that way, and Gleanings is blessing Israel through Israel Food Outreach. They
Yes.
also have put together a team of 20 that are going to Israel in February. They're going to be there a month.
Wow.
Oh, my.
And they're going to be utilizing some of what we send over there.
Wonderful.
And they're also going to have opportunities to share their faith, opportunities to see the outreach organizations that we're feeding, you know, that we're sending it to. So it's kind of exciting.
It is, yes.
So we went up there, Raven and I did, my wife and I went up there to sort of solidify things, but also to make a presentation of, Adelle, what you said.
I thought it was exciting to have an ancient
Very
artifact
Really?
given to
Yes.
Gleanings for the Hungry because of
they-
their service to Israel.
Absolutely,
That's wonderful.
You know, and they were so excited about it. And then we also gave them a shofar.
Oh,
and
my.
Raven made the presentation there. But I gave them, I made a presentation of the soup bowl
Oh, yes.
to the Gleanings, and we're going to look at that right now.
Oh,
that
yes,
portion
absolutely.
of it,
Maybe it's
if they
on?
can, if they have it in the studio there.
Wow, there it is.
So thankful, so appreciative of the fact that Gleanings is a part of it. If it hadn't been for Gleanings, we wouldn't even be doing it. You got to have a source for the material, for the soup and so forth, and Gleanings is that source. So we teamed up. I love it. I thank God for it very much. Now I want to make a presentation. Fritz, would you mind coming up here? What is your position here, Fritz?
The base leader?
Yeah, you're the base leader. So you can represent Gleanings for the Hungry, all the personnel and all very well. Can you accept something on their behalf from Israel Food Outreach?
I can.
Officially,
Yes.
you can do that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I have something for you that I want to give you. It's a soup bowl. Now, I could have gone down to Walmart and gotten you a real nice new soup bowl. And you turn it up and it says, made in China. I opted not to do that, Fritz.
Thank you.
I've got a little older one, you know, and it's made in Israel. And it's old. It is, this soup bowl is real old. It's 3,000 years old.
Oh my.
That's what it is.
Oh my.
So what better thing to present to Gleanings for the Hungry, whose primary thrust is soup mix, than a soup bowl? So Fritz, the unveiling. This is your soup bowl from King David's time.
Oh my gosh.
You don't want to tip it much, but then you can kind of see it there. We'll leave it here.
Oh wow. One of my red balls.
Wow, it looks so.
And people, you're going to have a chance to look at it because I think Fritz will put it somewhere in the lobby area of the office, in the showcase there. Is that right? Yeah. So it will really be ideal. Okay, Fritz.
Wow, everybody's super impressed. That makes Marilyn like a teenager, you know?
You're welcome, Fritz. God bless you and all of Gleanings for the Hungry. Now, I want you to know when you go to Israel, you will want to take an opportunity as you go to the old city to get yourself a relic to take back home. And you can get old soup bowls, oil lamps, flasks, all this kind of thing, and can get them at a reasonable price there. I went into business with an Arab, Cotter Baidoun is his name, in 1980, whose dad was the one who opened the first antiquity shop in the old city. So I got acquainted with him. We went into business together with the idea of bringing them to the United States and selling them to people. The business failed. But I ended up with a lot of Judean antiquities. What do I do with them, you know? And how do I protect them? Like this here. So I insured them with Lloyd's of London at about $100 a month it was costing me. Well, after a few years of that, I couldn't do it anymore, you know. So I have some in my safety deposit box and some in some other places that I won't share. But part of the whole scenario was a certificate of authenticity. And when you get any item from Israel, they will give you a slip that says what it is. It's about this square. And that's all it is. I told Cotter, I said, hey, we've got to have something more significant than that. So this is what we put together. I designed this back in 1980, and it gives a description of the soup bowl, measurements. I've taken it with a picture of a mirror, in the back, so you see the back side of it, so that's not two of them there. But this goes with it, so this will give you the details of it. Interestingly enough, I attended an archaeological convention in San Francisco in the mid-'80s, which was over 3,000 archaeologists from all over the world came there for a week session. So I had my antiquities there and this and all, and they said, hey, that is fantastic. I mean, now it doesn't mean anything to us, because they could pick up anything we had and tell pretty well what it was, where it came from. And they said, for the ordinary person, this is fantastic. So you'll see Cotter Baidoun's authenticity signature here, and you'll see mine as the one promoting it and as a member with him as a group. So we're leaving that with you also, Fritz. Yeah. Let Jim come up here. Jim Stein, and my wife Raven, she's going to do this next presentation.
Well, I don't have anything nearly elaborate, I guess, except that in the days...
Cue, Mike.
My Dudley, that was very exciting to see that. And how wonderful of you to dedicate this 3,000-year-old antiquity to Gleanings for the Hungry. How did you come into possession of this antiquity?
Well, I have a number of the antiquities, and it's because I went into business with this Cotter Baidoun in Jerusalem back in the early 80s, 1980 in fact. And we were going to bring the antiquities to the United States, and with this beautiful certificate of authenticity that would be coupled with that.
Sure.
And make a business out of it. Sell it to people that would be interested in a Judean antiquity. Well, it failed.
Really?
You know, yeah, it just did not fly. So I ended up with a lot of these antiquities. And so I'm going to leave them in my will. I'm leaving them to a museum.
For such a time.
Well, actually, you're blessed.
Oh,
and
yes.
it's going to be a blessing to others in times to come, you know.
But a few weeks ago, we were at Gleanings with Nancy and her husband, Don.
Yeah.
And we're in the lobby. And here's a nice display case, a glass display case there. And Don is looking at it. And he's saying, well, Dudley, there's nothing here from Israel.
Oh.
There were things there from a number of countries that they sent to. And then I thought, no, there isn't. Maybe a menorah, we should get them or something. And then it hit me.
Wow.
What better gift to give Gleanings than an old soup bowl from King David's time? Soup is their specialty.
Oh,
That's
yes.
their main thing. And so, I mean, it would tie in very beautifully with what they're doing.
Wow, it's very well represented for the ministry and the outreach that they're involved in.
Absolutely.
How kind of you, though, to be generous enough to present that to them.
But
It's
they have been
fantastic.
so helpful. And I
yes.
tell you, Mike, to see Gleanings and Israel Food Outreach come together like we're
Right,
doing
right.
is just unbelievable. They have missions all over the world. They send out over 100 containers a year all over the world.
My goodness.
But it never sent to Israel.
My.
But sending to Israel somehow builds an excitement within
there's
them.
a blessing. There's a
and
blessing.
these volunteers, over 3,000 volunteers a year,
Yeah.
come to Gleanings to help in all this. And they're very excited about
Yes.
doing the container
That's great.
that's going to Israel.
Wow.
And like I said, we have 3 on the water right now. Hopefully we'll have 2 more before spring.
My. And how many ships usually go each year carrying the cargo ships carrying all the
To
supply?
Israel? Or
Yeah,
to-
which you were sending. How many you've sent
Just
about?
what we have. We probably sent close to 10 now.
Wow.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Hopefully it's going to build up.
Right.
You know.
And I know that your vision was the Israel Food Outreach. That was your
That's right,
vision.
absolutely.
And how did you get such a heart for Israel and for that particular ministry, Dudley? How did that come about?
That's hard to say because my interest in Scripture and Old Testament prophecies it's been a long time.
Okay.
And then because of that, I knew God had prophesied in these old prophecies that He'd bring the Jews back.
Yes, that's right.
And He's done so.
And he did.
Yes, he has.
And He says, you bless Israel, I'll bless you.
Right.
Amen.
And this is a way for me to do so. So
Excellent.
I went over there for 2 months 6 years ago, and I filmed various pastors and how they came to faith in Jesus, in Yeshua, as they would pronounce it there.
Amen.
And I videotaped this, and I put it into a documentary called Messianic Jews, Why Should I Care? Now, what's a Messianic Jew? A Messianic Jew is a Jew who believes in Jesus as Messiah.
Yes.
Messianic. And they're small in number there, but they're there,
They're
and they
there.
need our support and everything.
Wow.
When I talk to people about this, they think, well, that is so strange, Messianic Jew. And I say to them, do you believe in Jesus as Messiah? And they say, yes.
Then
I said, but then you're a Messianic. You're a Messianic Gentile, though. You're not a Jew, you're a Messianic Gentile. And they're Messianic Jews.
Right.
Big deal. Paul says we're all together in one.
That's
you know.
that's right. That's
But
right.
tying in them with Gleanings is a real opportunity to bless God's special chosen people there, because they have a lot of poor people there too.
Yes,
and these
we-
various organizations in Israel have an outreach, soup kitchens for shut-ins and all of that. God has given them a heart for needy people. And there are needy people in Israel like we have here and anywhere else.
That's
And
right.
so we send the soup over to help augment what they're already
Oh,
doing.
I think that's
Dr.
fantastic.
Mike, you know, a lot of people think that Israel is very prosperous and that
Yeah.
everybody has enough, but actually there's so many refugees in Israel, senior citizens on fixed income.
Yes.
A lot of the seniors that came in from Russia and from the Holocaust,
Oh, yes.
they were unable to get a proper income. So they're really depending on the help that Israel Food Outreach and Gleanings for the Hungry give
Oh,
to
that's
them.
wonderful.
So this
Yeah.
is really important. I've seen their videos. Exciting what they're doing.
Well, Dudley, you're certainly involved in an end-time ministry, aren't you?
Yes, and we've
It is.
expanded it to include quilts. Gleanings has a
Oh,
department
my.
there where the volunteers are coming in and building and
Making
quilts.
quilts? Wow.
And so on one of the containers on the water now are 40, and on the last container there are 40, and then Rabbi Ron Aronson from
Yes.
Houston
Oh, yeah.
called me day before yesterday, and they have over 100 quilts there. He said, by flying them up to Ontario,
Oh.
can you take them on up to Gleanings so they can be put on the next container?
Oh my, isn't that exciting?
Oh, it really
we're-
is.
so many great things are happening.
They really are,
in that
yeah.
ministry. You
Dudley,
know.
do you have a website
Well, I was
or
going to
something?
just ask Brother
Yeah.
Dudley if he had a website that
We do
those
have.
are viewing today would like to be
Yeah.
maybe involved. in the
Israel
program.
Food Outreach.
Okay.
That's the name. Israel Food
Outreach.
Outreach. .net.
.net.
And that's the
That's all.
only thing on the internet. Israel
Okay,
Food
so if they
Outreach.
want to contact Dudley and and Israel Food Outreach. That would be
Yes.
the website to do.
Now, we understand that you have a new organization and you've got wonderful people serving on the board, and we're very excited for you and Raven. And Raven is
Thank you.
a completely vital part of this
Oh, she
organization.
definitely is a great
Yeah.
part of the
So it's
organization.
very exciting,
Yes.
especially now with all the things that are happening in the Middle East.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Absolutely.
Well, I'm just so excited about what's happening here, and in days to come, I know, Dudley, greater things are going to take place, and we know that God's hand is on the nation of Israel, and always has been. And to you to be part of that, I think is absolutely fantastic.
I count it a privilege.
Yes, yes. What do
Really.
you see the future of that ministry? I know you believe in your heart growth and expansion, and I believe that too. Isn't that right? Wow. My goodness. That these could be going forth, these containers could be going forth continually,
Yes.
back and forth.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some people have said because of your interest in that, and you kind of look like it a little bit, you must be a Jew. I said, well, no, I don't think so. Well, why don't you find out? Get the DNA and find out.
Yes.
I said, I don't want to know.
don't you think
I-
that
The reason-
everybody, though, is part? Because
Yes.
we all come from Noah, right?
Well, yes, but it is kind of since that time. But I tell them I don't want to know, because if I did, and someone asked me if I am a Jew, have heredity, a Jewish line, I'd have to say yes.
Okay.
If I don't know, I can say I don't know, and I can do more good
That's
for
true.
Israel as a Messianic Gentile than I can as a Messianic Jew.
Oh, that's
And that's
very,
my
very
reason.
true.
I want to keep it that way.
That's very true. And so we appreciate you being on the show today, Dudley, and talking about
thank
Israel
you.
Food Outreach and Gleanings for the Hungry, and my wife
Promise
Adelle talking
Christian
about
University.
Promise.
We're a vital part. You know, we started off together doing
yes.
the Messianic media broadcasting. We're the first ones that came and helped us to shoot our graduation.
That's right.
And so I think we're still together.
We're
so
all a
that's
team
wonderful.
together.
We're
All
a
a
team.
team
Absolutely,
together. Well,
yes.
I want to thank both of you for being on the show today, and we appreciate that. And as Dudley mentioned a moment ago, you can contact them at IsraelFoodOutreach.org.
.net.
.net. And of course, Promise Christian University. And Adelle and I are so thrilled to be president of the school. And we just had our 10th year of existence at Promise. We're looking forward to great things that God's going to do. And if you're looking for a good Christian college, Christian university that can help you, especially if you're in ministry, going in ministry, look us up. Get a hold of us. We'd like to meet with you. We'd like to talk to you about your enrollment at Promise Christian University. And I think that we can really be a great help for you. So I want to thank you again for tuning in today. I want to thank all of you. And God bless you real good. Thank you. One of the ladies that's going to work with us now, her thing is accreditation. Says God knows who to send.